Hi, I'm Joel Reedy, an attorney at Cornerstone Law Firm. Today, I want to talk to you about paper streets. It sounds like a children's drawing, but in reality, paper streets are a problem all throughout Pennsylvania. A paper street is the phenomenon that occurs when a borough or township or city has planned a street or an alley, a road somewhere that they never end up completing. This happens for many reasons. It happens because a subdivision plan was never fully followed or because it turned out later the road wasn't necessary. It's a fairly common problem. But you then have a deed that doesn't necessarily say that you own that street, and the person next to you has a deed that doesn't own that street, and now you have land between you that nobody owns. You have a right to add that to your deed if the paper street has not been used in a 21-year time period. In most cases, it's important to go through the process of getting the township or borough or city to formally vacate the paper street. This means getting an ordinance from the city saying, we've decided not to use that strip of land and we've abandoned it. It's available now to the owners. Second, once that's done, you typically are going to want to add half of each of those streets to each of the deeds. This means cooperating with your neighbors and negotiating. Sometimes there's a reason that one of you wants more of the land. You want to be able to put a shed further back on your property, or you don't really want the extra taxes that come with a little extra land and you'd rather your neighbor take it. Working that out and figuring out how to deal with that is a really important part of the process, and negotiating with all of the people who have an interest in that property. Third, you'll need to actually file, in most cases, what's called a quiet title action. A quiet title action is where you ask a judge in the Court of Common Pleas of the county where your property is for a court order saying that the land you've agreed to is yours. You'll need to show that it was vacated, you'll need to show that the neighbors are in agreement, or you'll need to sue them to basically get that worked out. A quiet title action can be a fairly straightforward process if everybody's in agreement, and it ends with a court signing an order that says that you own that land. Fourth and finally, you will need to either get a new survey or get the lot description from past deeds, and you'll need to file a new deed showing that you do in fact own that land. This is a part of the process that many people forget. They go through the process, they get a quiet title order, and they say, great, it's all done, and they forget to record a new deed. 10, 15, 20, 30 years goes by, they go to transfer that deed, and there's nothing in the deed showing that they own that land they worked so hard to get the right to obtain, and sometimes another quiet title action has to happen. So those are some of the steps you want to consider. Real estate law is not for the faint of heart. So if you're going through this process or believe you're entitled to land near your property, call Cornerstone Law Firm. We'll be happy to give you a consultation and talk about your options with your paper street.